Hello and welcome to Taking You to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. I'm your host, JP John Paz from the Two-Man Power Trip. Of course, joining me, the star of the show, the former WWE World Tag Team Champion, one of the greatest trainers in the history of the business, the Doctor of Desire himself, Dr. Tom Prichard. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, John. How about you?
Doing very good. In spite of all this heat out there, doing pretty good. It's
What
pretty
about
nuts out
her?
there.
What about Hurricane Burl? Did you get any of that one?
No, did not. Lucked
Oh,
out.
okay. So, well, good for you. Yeah.
And apparently missed out on some tornadoes. I was in a little part of New York, or kind of more towards upstate New York. Apparently, I missed out on some tornadoes today as well.
Good for you then.
Yes. What's going on in the world of the JPWA?
We just started a new class in the world of JPWA, so 12 weeks ago with these new people.
Jason. Hello, Jason. How are you doing?
Jason,
Good evening to the modern day cowboy, Mitch Miller.
modern day cowboy.
Brendan. Hello, Brendan. Barbara. Hey, Dr. Tom. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good 4th of July.
Had a great 4th of July.
What'd you do?
Cleaned up the garage and painted the laundry room.
That's a great 4th of July. I thought you were going to say fireworks and
You know,
barbecue.
your way of having fun and my way of having fun are two different things, obviously. So
Yeah, straightening up the garage, cleaning out stuff. Hello,
yeah.
Phil. Hello, Phil. ATF's got a question right off the bat for you, Dr. Tom. Do you think the National Weather Service should dispatch someone to punch Hurricane Burl, possibly someone with the hands of stone?
I've heard Ronnie is already on his way. And that's why it's died out so far.
Nice,
Yeah.
good. Are you
Yeah.
feeling the effects of it?
No, I'm not feeling the effects of anything yet.
Just a little fun little tidbit just to throw out there. I know I mentioned it to you quickly because I wanted to know if you knew who she was, but Stephanie Vacker, CMLL star, part of the AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view versus Sasha Banks. She was a part of the, obviously, New Japan, dealing with it as well. She basically quit CMLL. She quit New Japan, anything that had to do with it. She surrendered all the titles and quickly signed with NXT and WWE. So I say this, Dr. Tom, is it odd to have somebody on your pay-per-view and give them 20-minute match against Sasha Banks, albeit she lost, but give them all that time and not have them under contract? Does that surprise you?
Well, what happened with Luger when he showed up at Mall of America the same night he was on Raw?
So he was on the house show basically kind of the night before.
Right.
So his contract ran out. A certain relative of
Had a
yours
tape.
was in charge at that point, didn't realize it, and he got
I don't
signed
like that tone of voice.
he signed with WCW instead.
Implying what you don't know that to be a fact.
Well, he was in charge of talent relations at that point in 1995. Wasn't
Are you
JR.
sure?
Yeah, it wasn't JR. Yeah.
You sure it wasn't JJ Dillon?
Oh, maybe. Bruce always takes the blame for it, though. You're right, though. Could have been JJ too. Yeah, you're right. I got to think about when JJ
But I
left.
mean that's not so unusual. I mean, only this time it was on AEW's floor. No, yes. You got to be careful with that. If you didn't sign somebody, they're still a hot property, I guess.
And the rumor mill, as some people have stated, maybe online and maybe offline as well, that it was kind of just a showcase. I guess WWE was watching and it's like, wow, let's find out the contract of this girl. We really like her, want to bring her to NXT.
Yeah.
And obviously they like what they saw. So it was basically a tryout match, so to speak, and WWE liked it.
Well, good for them. I always tell everybody, you never know who's watching. So wrestle like it's your last match, or wrestle like it's your best match, like you're doing a tryout, because you never know, you might be.
Speaking of last match, John Cena, during the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, made a surprise appearance and announced that he will be retiring in 2025. What do you think about that? John Cena will retire from the business.
Well, I think he means from active competition in the ring. I don't think John will ever retire from the business. I think he'll always want to be a part of it. But I think that's cool. He's got movies on the horizon, and he's been doing this for a long time anyway. So, yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's great.
Brandon says, since we are talking John Cena, you think he breaks Flair's record, or do you think he becomes a Grand Slam champion before he retires?
I'd like to see him become a Grand Slam champion before he retires myself. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen, but who knows? I know they'll give him a proper send off.
Do you think he wins the world title before he retires? Kind of doesn't need it. It doesn't really make sense, but they could do that just to break the Flair and him tie and have him win the 17-time champ.
Yeah, but who would he be? I mean, the world champion? Is that going to be Seth? I mean, what is it going to mean? I don't know. I think he'd be the Grand Slam champion before he breaks Flair's title.
Yeah, I feel like that would be kind of crazy if he won the world title. It would kind of mess up what they got going on with all those guys. And
Yeah.
and obviously we saw his match against Solo Sikoa last year. He's not moving around too well.
Right.
You know what I mean? He doesn't have that spring in his step. He's 47 years old. He's just not the same guy anymore.
Well, none of us are. So, yeah, I think it'd be better for him to ride out in the sunset with a little bit of whatever he wants, however he wants to do it, and go from there.
Now I got to play a little devil's advocate here with Cena's retirement because he kind of hinted at it. He sees how hot they are right now, right? You know, obviously he's a big star and he's a Hollywood star, so his name value is very high. But he was saying he sees what they're doing, he sees how hot they are, and he wanted to be a part of it. And I guess this is the way he thought, and this is the way Triple H thought was the best way to have him be a part of it. Do you take anything with that as far as them not really wanting him as much as he wants them because they're hot right now?
I could see it both ways. I could see John wanting to do it because he actually loves professional wrestling. He loves what he does, and I think sure if it's a hot period, why wouldn't he want to be part of that? I mean, just to contribute. So I can certainly see that.
It does seem like, the business has kind of moved on past him, but obviously he does probably sell some pretty good merch still. He'll do some well at the house shows. It just seems like physically and obviously star power wise, because Cody, if you look at the numbers, Cody's a way bigger draw than Cena ever was. So kind of, you got to throw that in the mix as well when you talk about his retirement and stuff. And when people start saying he's the GOAT and crazy stuff like that.
But hustle, loyalty, and respect never goes out of style. So
Yes.
he
And you
can
can't
always have that. Yeah, you can't see me and all that stuff. So I mean, yeah, why not come out and do it and have fun doing it on your terms and knowing that they'll have a nice retirement for him at the end of the day.
I thought it was so funny at the press conference. I don't know if you saw any of this or read it online. He went really long, like over his allotted time, quote unquote, for the press conference afterwards. And anybody who asked the question, he just goes, "Good question, great question," no matter what the question was. And they had this one person had a really horrible question about Vince, and he goes, "Great question, thanks for your courage for asking it."
Mm.
But like
Mm.
he's like still in Cena mode. You know what I mean? He's still doing the I'm the white meat baby face stuff, even in the post match or the post show press conference.
Well, maybe he's going to stay the white meat baby face the whole time. He's about to enter some acting. And hell, he's going to host Shark Week, or did he already? He's hosting
Yes,
Shark
you're
Week.
right. Yeah, that's this week. Yeah, you're right. Yep, he's doing it. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So
It's
there
pretty
you
good
go.
because I remember The Rock did it a few years ago. So yeah, that's a big thing. Shark Week.
Yeah, obviously.
Craig says to me, John Cena is a sports entertainer and not a wrestler. What's your take on that?
I would agree. I think John would agree.
Definitely not the greatest worker in the world. Not that you necessarily need to be, but definitely not the best.
Well, it depends. I mean, does his stuff sell, and does he draw money? And if he does, then he's probably one of the best workers there is out there.
Right.
You know, so doesn't matter that he can throw a punch or put on a double wrist lock. I mean, that doesn't matter at all.
If you look at it too, if he's in there with like a guy like AJ or Punk or some guy that's a really good worker, he can have a great match. So he's definitely one of those guys that he's not bad by any stretch of imagination. He can hold up his end of the bargain.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can judge the guy on because he may have 5 moves. I don't even know how many moves he has.
5 moves of doom. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, there you go. So it's worked for him for years and years. He's been on top for over 20 years. So, who's to argue what he's doing is wrong?
It's all about selling that merch and putting the
Yeah.
butts in seats. I know not necessarily the best at putting butts in seats, but he's got a good loyal fan base for sure.
Yeah, he still draws, and the fans still love him. I still see John Cena shirts.
Magazine Retriever says the Bushwhackers were still wrestling when they were John Cena's age. They had a lot of energy, given how old they were. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the Bushwhackers had Bushwhacker matches. If you watch those matches, they weren't going to be bumping all around like the Sheepherders were, but the Bushwhackers knew how to have those kind of matches and be just as entertaining.
And they were carrying guys like the Heavenly Bodies, too, to good matches. So that's the Bushwhackers.
Well, if they can do that, then they're miracle workers. How about that, pal?
And speaking of the bodies, remember Jim Cornette used to say about Nash, he had 3 moves, and then he's like, and the hair flip. Remember he used to joke around that certain guys only had a few moves?
Well, Jim still has his opinions.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
He's the man, though. Little sidebar here from Dale Mountain. Good evening. In Too Cold Scorpio's defense, he said his attacker put him in a guillotine chokehold and cut off his airway. That's why he stamped the guy. Wow, I didn't hear that part of it. That's interesting. Obviously, he's defending himself. He thinks the guy's going to choke him out. He's got to do something.
Yeah, I would. I would have to do something.
Scorch, hello, gentlemen. According to Guinness Book of World Records, John Cena has met 650 Make-A-Wish kids. That is commendable. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it sure is. Just to be in demand that much. Yeah.
And to do that for those families and those kids, I mean, that is great on Cena. I've always heard that he's great with kids. Like even at autograph signings, that he's always kind of goes above and beyond for kids.
Yeah, that's John.
Barbara's got a good question for you. What can we expect when WWE goes to Netflix?
Ooh, that I don't know. Is the language different on Netflix? You can cuss or
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
so maybe there'll be some of that, or maybe there'll be I don't know. They may go back to PG or PG-13 or oh.
A lot of people are saying they're going to go back to the Attitude Era because slowly but surely cursing again. They're bringing blood back slowly but surely. I think Attitude Era was like a bit of an exaggeration, but that's what they're saying. Hey, we're going to get the Attitude Era again.
Well, you got the guys who made the Attitude Era running the joint, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, and that era kind of worked. It was kind of popular.
Pretty much. So we'll see how it goes.
Colton Grundy says, Dr. Tom and John Paz, I must have hit the lottery today. Love you guys. Thank you, Colton Grundy. Thank you.
Thank you, Colton Grundy.
ATF, who would you rather party with? Ed Too Tall Jones, George No Show Jones, or Roy Jones Jr.?
Oh, wow. I bet George Jones would be a lot of fun. He'd be cranky, but it'd be fun.
I got to go Ed Too Tall Jones. Got to.
Yeah. Mm.
Love that guy. Paco Garcia Story. He says, what would John Cena's final match be at WrestleMania? What do you think? He put WrestleMania 42, but it's going to be WrestleMania 41 is going to be his last Mania. But he said his last match will be December of 2025. So Mania won't be his last. But who will his last Mania opponent be?
I don't know. Would it be Rock? Would it be Austin? I don't know if Austin wants to wrestle anymore.
It might be Punk. I don't know. They've been teasing some stuff going back and forth, those two.
Maybe. Be a good match.
I wonder if it'll be kind of a main event guy. Because if you look through the last couple of years of who he's been working with, Austin Theory, Solo, when Solo wasn't in the main event, he hasn't been working like the top of the food chain. He hasn't been working the main event guys, albeit Roman Reigns a couple of years back. But after that, it's kind of been he's been working with upper mid card guys. He hasn't been basically utilized as a main eventer.
So he's been a player coach, which is great. He's been helping the young guys. So that's what he would probably be best at this stage.
Punk would be interesting just because they have so much history together. They were supposed to have that match at WrestleMania 27, ended up being The Miz versus Cena. So Cena and Punk had that great match on Monday Night Raw where Punk broke out the pile driver. So that would be kind of interesting to me. Paco, I think that would be interesting for me. Why didn't John just say, pretty soon you won't see me? Meaning John Cena. You can't see me.
That's pretty good. Well, I don't know. Maybe you didn't think of it, Barbara. But you should write that down and send it to him.
Colton says there's wrestlers and then there's wrestlers. Real ones know the difference.
That's true.
Cena seems to be a very nice guy, but half the crowd boos him and tells him he sucks.
Well, I think that's just because the crowd wants to have something fun to do.
But it's interesting, though. Cody, right? He's the big baby face. He doesn't get booed by half the segment of the audience.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
But he might have been starting the trend. But before that, Hogan didn't get booed by half the audience. Austin didn't get booed. Like, they were real baby faces. Like, I mean, they were really over. For whatever reason, I guess because Vince wanted to go PG and maybe half the crowd didn't want to go PG, they went PG. Cena on top, did Super Cena, and he got booed by half the building. It was crazy.
Yeah, because he's like Nickelback. Clean cut, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, clean cut. Can you understand the words of the songs? And can do no wrong. Smiley, smiley, you can't see me.
He didn't earn his way through the indies or territories. He was in a reality show. Is Craig talking about The Miz? Maybe he's referring to The Miz there. I don't think he's referring to Cena. Cena actually did go through. I guess you wouldn't say territories, but he did go through OVW, UPW out there with Ricky Bassman. So Cena does definitely have that experience going for him. It did earn his way in big time for sure.
And The Miz worked his way in too. I mean, Miz was on a reality show, yes, but at the same time, once he got there, he put the time in. He did the hard work.
Modern day cowboy saying basic thugonomics, word life, the old John Cena rap gimmick, the old Vanilla Ice gimmick for John Cena.
Of course. Yeah.
Saying he would like when he would freestyle rap against his opponents and diss the hell out of them.
John's pretty good.
He recently said that gimmick is retired. He will not be doing rapping anymore. He's 47. He's too old.
How old is P. Diddy?
I don't know, but I think he might be in jail right now.
Diddy's in jail?
Didn't he get in trouble? Yeah, pretty sure. Sex trafficking, right?
No, I don't think he's in jail yet.
Oh, or beat up his wife or beat up his girlfriend? Something. Maybe he didn't go to jail, but his place got raided and he's being investigated.
Well, how old is he?
God,
he's got to be up to his age. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why?
He's got to be 50 years old.
Why would John say he didn't want to rap anymore because he's too old?
I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have it. P. Diddy is 54, by the way.
Okay. Older than John Cena.
Danny C. I think it's historic that it'll be Cena's last run and the start of Netflix. Yes, interesting.
Probably so.
Definitely going to be historic because, God, what's he been WWE for? It would be 23 years, basically, in WWE. So quite a run. Nice, long run there for Cena. Yeah. I know it wasn't, since basically 2015, I know it wasn't full-time, but still, it was a long run for Cena, no doubt about it.
Yeah. John had a great run.
Frank Nordquist. I wish the NWA was available to watch on Direct TV. Do you know anything about that?
It's available to watch on CW app.
Gotta love it. I just talked to Black G's, by the way. Remember Black G's? Great guy.
Yes, I remember manager. Black G's. It hasn't been that long. Yes.
Great manager in NWA, Black G's.
The fuck? Yeah, of course he's a great manager. Jesus Christ.
I remember seeing him back in the day at CZW, by the way, going all the way back 20-something years here when he was Sabian, which was a very interesting name and interesting gimmick he had going on.
Well, Black Jesus is an interesting fella.
Yeah, good guy. Real good guy.
Yeah.
Hey, look who it is. Ibsen. Hello, Ibsen. He said, sorry I'm late. Getting ready for 90s Con this week in Atlantic City this weekend. 90s Con. I saw the
okay.
Hardy Boys will be a part of 90s Con.
Tremendous.
I went to TNA a few weeks ago in Philly at the arena. Man, I got to be honest, the Hardy Boys, you want to talk about age and say that they're in their mid 40s and stuff, but they look phenomenal. Both Jeff's in great shape. Matt is in really, really good shape. So maybe they're going to look for one more run. I think if people might want to meet him at 90s Con for WWE scoops him up.
Yeah, that's cool. That'd be great.
They look great. Got to be honest.
Yeah.
They're in great shape.
Yeah.
Barbara says, I feel cheated because Dr. Tom never got a retirement tour like Cena. Any chance for a comeback?
That'd be a 0, Barbara. I think I had I had a retirement tour better than Cena, actually. Only I knew I was on my retirement tour. So, yeah, it was great. Had a good time.
Did Vince know you were retiring? That's the real question.
I don't think Vince cared.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Colton says, I wouldn't mind a John Cena versus Ric Flair for his final match. What do you think about that?
I don't think that'd be very good.
Colton's obviously joking there. He's got the smiley
Yeah,
face.
I don't think that'd be very good at all there, Colton. Even though you are joking.
Do you know that Flair in his last match passed out twice? Did you know that?
Yeah, I was there.
But were you aware of it when it was going on or no?
Yeah, because he was in the corner passed out.
Okay.
Couldn't
I
tell
figured you
him,
thought he
yeah.
might be selling. I thought you'd be like, oh,
No.
good selling, Rick. Good job.
Yeah, either way.
You weren't fearful of the worst, were you, at that point?
No, I wasn't fearful or anything.
At what point is a match against Ric Flair considered elder abuse? What do you think?
Right now.
True. Who else could put John Cena over more than he already is other than Ric Flair? Come on, who else could put him over?
I don't know, Randy Orton. I don't know.
Paco wants to know with Dominic Mysterio here, Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley? Who you got? Who you want?
Who wants to win Dominic Mysterio's?
Well, I think he means who would you rather have, Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley? They're both an option for Dominic Mysterio.
Well, I'd have to go with Rhea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. I might have to go Liv Morgan. I love Liv. New Jersey native, of course. Looks like $1 million, but I do love Rhea Ripley as well. Her return on Raw this week, 84 million social media views, whatever that means. So she did more than Cena. His retirement got 65 million. So she did quite well. I mean, I guess obviously she's super over, got a huge pop, but she's very over on social media for WWE as well.
Good for her. Yeah, I think she's over.
He's surprised by that.
No. I think she's very talented. I think she looks great. She should be that old.
Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, it's got to be a lock for SummerSlam, I would imagine, right?
I would hope. Sure.
Kind of, if you think about Dominic, he's in a lucky position. You know, he can get Liv, he can get Rhea. You know what I mean? He's in a good spot, Dominic.
He can get Liv or he can get Rhea?
Yeah, storyline wise, yeah.
Oh, storyline wise. Okay, yeah. I was going to say.
They're both, yeah. He's Daddy Dom. Come on. Got the mustache going. He's eating those chicken nuggies or whatever he calls them, chicken tendies. He's trying to play it cool, like he's like a cool dude.
Yeah, I can see that.
He beat his deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio, on Monday night. He thinks he's the man.
Well, good for him.
Phil is saying there's power in John Cena's polarization. Do you agree?
Power in John Cena's polarization?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's power in the people.
They love it. Energizes the crowd because when the boos happen, the people that want to cheer him cheer, which makes the people boo him even more. It definitely energizes the crowd.
I think it's fun because John just came across as this angelic, never do anything wrong, Superman, can't lose, won't lose kind of guy.
Yeah.
And but you still have to respect him because he does work hard, and he does over 650 Make-A-Wish for kids. I mean, it's hard to beat.
And he does do a lot of movies too. So he's working hard, just doing cameos, doing Shark Week. He's always moving, that guy.
Yeah.
Cena is the PG era's Hulk Hogan for that generation of fans. Yes, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I agree.
John Cena versus Ron Killings. R-Truth would be great for his final match. Do you agree? I think that would be
I
interesting.
love that. Yeah, man, I love that. That's great.
Did you know R-Truth's childhood hero was John Cena?
I didn't know that. No,
Yep, he said it many times. Even though he's about 4 or 5 years older than Cena,
I was
doesn't
just going to
matter. That's
say.
still
Yeah, yeah. I was
his
going to say
childhood hero.
probably
Yeah,
about 20 years older than Cena. Yeah,
looks younger though somehow. I mean, R-Truth doesn't age. It's very
yeah, I know.
strange. You could say he's 52, and then somebody could say he's 32, and then somebody would, people would buy it because he looks awesome.
Yeah.
If you could pick John Cena's last opponent, who you picking? Ibsen wants to know. Who you picking?
Our
Pick one.
truth. Our
Nice.
truth.
Nice.
Thank you.
Flair's old, but he could still go. There you go. Adele is saying, I really enjoyed John Cena's music video called Bad, Bad Man. It was a spoof of the A-Team TV show, the great A-Team TV show.
I haven't seen that.
God, it's got to be from like 04 or something like that. It's an old one, but it was pretty funny. They would do the John Hannibal Smith with him smoking the cigar, the B.A. Baracus. Good stuff there. Very entertaining stuff. Obviously, the A-Team, by the way, great show with perhaps the greatest theme song ever in the history of television. Just going to throw that out there.
What is wrong with you? What are you smoking tonight?
Hey, you don't think the A-Team is the greatest theme song? Oh, it's good. What are you going to say? Airwolf? Airwolf? Knight Rider? What are you thinking? Matlock?
None of them. No. The hell? A-Team has the greatest. Yeah.
Tom, who was your first main event against and the angle leading to it?
Oh, wow. I don't know. It was in L.A., I think. Alma Drill and me against might have been the Evans brothers, Jack and whatever his name, Jack Evans and his working brother. I forget his name, but for the America's title. I remember I thought, wow, I'm in the main event, but I looked out the crowd and I said, oh, wait a minute.
Nobody there?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad house. So I said, oh, now I know. So I got a main event against Fujinami in LA too, though. That was a little better.
Mean Morshizi Best. Hello, all. Dr. Tom again. The only question I have is, did you ever face and beat my labor mate, legendary Undertaker?
No, I never did. Never faced or beat him. No.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that.
Do either one really believe that Shane McMahon will go to AEW? The talking never stops. He may not go. Fans seriously want to see him in AEW. What do you think? Shane McMahon to AEW?
Yeah, right.
No?
Why would he go to AEW?
That's the rumor because kind of Sasha Banks saw him on a plane or saw him in the airport, so they're adding the fuel to the fire.
So you have to ask yourself, why would he go to AEW? Why would he want to go to AEW?
No clue.
Yeah, right. So that's what I mean. I don't see Shane ever going to AEW.
Pretty crazy. I was reading how much money that they spent on a weekend on pay-per-view weekend where they had a TV show and a pay-per-view in the same weekend. Upwards of $3 million spent, including hotels, including all this other, expenditures and talent. The talent cost a couple million for the weekend as well. It's a lot of money being spent by AEW. I believe it may have ended up being a profitable pay-per-view weekend, just barely, because I guess it did good pay-per-view subs and the gate was decent, but man, maybe by the skin of their teeth. So I don't know how Shane would want to be unless he could be in control of the books. You know what I mean?
WWE rules. It's just WWE or nothing with Shane. Yeah. I don't think he would see AEW as a step down.
In an interview, Mean Gene said he was in a room when McMahon offered Gagne $10 million for AEW, excuse me, AWA, of course, Vern Gagne AWA, plus 500,000 salaries for Vern and Greg for 10 years. Greg wouldn't be selling cars if that was accepted. Obviously, Vern turned that down.
Yeah.
Big mistake, Chico, or what?
Well, if that was the case, yeah, it was a big mistake. But also, I think Vince offered people deals and never followed through too. So who
Yes,
knows?
Stu Hart didn't get his full payment, apparently.
Well, right, and depending who you talk to, it's because of one thing or another that either happened or didn't happen. But you know, it's yeah, the AWA. I don't know if for 10 years, yeah, I think Vince would have closed those shop first year.
Should have sold, possibly. Kale Morrow says Cena can't retire fast enough. Had good matches, but his quote unquote acting and promos are cringe.
You seen Ricky's Schenectady?
No, I haven't. Have you?
You know what it is?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched it. He actually seen it entertain me.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's pretty funny.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not a big Cena guy. I'm not a big Cena fan, to be honest. I might have to agree with Kale a little bit here. But hey,
You're right in agree. Yeah,
you're
I'm
saying Ricky
saying it's
Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just a
Yep.
stupid movie
Comedy.
with stupid. Yeah, and I want to see stupid when I see my comedy.
What about Little Jimmy? Remember?
What about little Jimmy?
R-Truth had that make believe Little Jimmy that he said he saw. That
Yeah.
was good. Ibsen is saying Dom is like Mark Henry when Mark Henry had both Mae Young and China.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't know about that though.
Yeah.
Liv, I would definitely take Liv and Rhea Ripley over China and Mae Young. No offense. No offense. Maybe it's the fact that I'm from Boston, but I would love to see Tommaso Ciampa and John Cena match in the future. That's Brendan talking about that because obviously those are the Boston boys or the Massachusetts boys.
Well, I don't think it's going to be Ciampa, but maybe it will.
Danny C says Dom looks like Eddie Guerrero in 1997. No doubt about it. Even 1999, Eddie Guerrero, when he started to getting ripped and getting that long hair going. Yeah.
Yeah. Dom's doing pretty good for himself.
Some of the bigger wrestlers, Big Show, Mark Henry, say Cena was the strongest man they've been in the ring with. Dr. Tom, can you confirm this?
I think Cena squatted Big Show and somebody else on his back. Who was it? Big Show and
Edge.
who else? Edge?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a lot of weight to squat, especially free, Not it wasn't free weights, it was squirming human flesh. So he's pretty strong.
Yeah, very strong. Very interesting, though, like as far as Big Show. Okay, so he was able to pick him up, right, and squat him, and that's tremendous strength. Lesnar does that, but also throws him. So I got to give Lesnar the strongest because if you can pick the guy up and do what the other guy's doing, but then add another layer by throwing the guy and suplexing the guy, I know I got to give it to Lesnar. Lesnar is just the freak of nature.
Yeah, Lesnar's pretty strong. But
did you ever do any in-ring training with Cena or Lesnar, like as far as getting in there with him?
I think I might have done it in OVW, yeah. I used to get in the ring with everybody in OVW.
Paco says Tiffany Stratton won Miss Money in the Bank. Which one does she go after? Bailey's title or the Liv Morgan title?
Ooh. What show is Bailey on? SmackDown?
Yeah. No, wait. Bailey's
She's on Raw.
Nope, SmackDown.
Well, Liv is on Raw?
Yep.
Where's Tiffany on?
SmackDown.
Well, why don't she go after Bailey?
That's true. I think she's going after Bailey.
Yeah.
You should train John Cena for the matches next year, just like The Rock got trained by a AEW tag team for this year's WrestleMania. Are you interested in training Cena?
Yeah, I don't think they're interested in me though. Nobody's ringing my phone off the hook right now, so I'm okay. I got classes here. I got stuff to do.
People forget Cena started off as a heel dressed up like Vanilla Ice. Yes. Magazine says I liked Ron Killing's K Quick gimmick when he first came in the early 2000s. He was K Quick.
Yes, he was.
Ragu, R-Truth uses some sort of coconut moisturizer. He said that not so long ago. Probably makes him look younger. Interesting. Coconut moisturizer.
Sure, it's the most ancient Chinese secret.
Oh, Calgon. Remember?
Yeah,
Remember
no,
Calgon?
no, no. Coconut moisturizer. They send special coconuts from Taiwan to China.
Once in Chicago, Jesse Body Ventura called out not only Mr. T, but said he'd take out the entire A team.
Yeah, because they had a shitty promo music. Yeah, I can see why.
What?
Yeah, 18 had a horrible music.
Oh, I thought it was great. Colton Grundy, would you ever come back to wrestling for a management position or an ambassador, kind of like Flair is right now for AEW?
Well, yeah, I'd always be willing to hear if there was a place to come back to wrestling for a management position or ambassador like Flair. Sure.
Random question, never asked. How was Ernie Ladd in the mid and late 1990s? Ernie Ladd, big cat.
Ernie, that was very cool. Ernie was a good guy. And he would talk to you after the matches. Sit down under the learning tree and tell you to slow down. Keep
Wow,
your head
okay.
up. Yeah.
Ibsen throws out their prayers for Kevin Sullivan. Yes. Got that
Yeah.
GoFundMe right now. He's not doing too well, but he's got that GoFundMe, which
Yeah.
actually is doing really well. It's at almost $50,000.
Yeah.
Nicola's daughter put it up there for 20. He's at 50. I noticed a lot of good donations from a lot of wrestlers. Tony Khan, for all that we were kind of joking around and saying he let Stephanie Vacker go and all this other stuff, did donate $10,000. So thank you, Tony Khan.
Yeah. That's awful nice of everybody you donated.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, everybody. Man,
Yeah.
I guess really, really exceeded expectations. I mean, more than double of what they were expecting. So, pretty great.
Yeah. Kevin was sick since May and just recently found out in the last month or two that he was going to be traveling down that way. So, we're traveling up that way,
Yeah.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
Is this Barda's theme song was the best? Keep Your Eye on the Sparrow by Sammy Davis Jr. You like that as a theme song?
No. Brother had a stupid song too.
What TV show did you like as far as
I
themes?
hated all the TV shows, John. Every last one of them. They
Wow.
were, yeah. It was
Miami
terrible.
Vice too? Really?
Why would I like Miami Vice?
All right. Paco saying, why did WB suspend Drew McIntyre? CM Punk is to blame for the interference. What do you think about that? Why is Drew McIntyre suspended?
I don't know. Why is he?
Because he cursed out Adam Pearce, who's a WWE official, and
Oh, you
basically
can't curse out officials.
you can't do that.
No.
CM Punk not suspended, just fined, by the way.
Well, maybe that's in his contract.
Pizza or cheesesteak? What was yours, Del Rey and Cornette? Which one you guys going with here?
Cheesesteak.
What about Del Rey?
Del Rey go cheesesteak and Corny go pizza.
Love it. Wyatt 6 versus the Judgment Day. You think that feud is going to happen?
Ooh. If it does, I'd like to see the White Six come out on top.
What did you? I know you didn't see it, but you read about it. What did you think of the Damian Priest, Seth Rollins little botch there? A little bit of a screw up. Apparently, after the Falcon Arrow, I don't know if Seth's knee hit Priest, but he didn't hear or see the 3 count. The ref went 1, 2, and pretended he kicked out. Really quick thinking on the ref's part. He just pretended he kicked out, and he said, "Nope, 2, 2," and he got up real quick. And Priest never kicked out.
Well, if it was that obvious, then I'm sure somebody got talked to. What'd they do after that?
McIntyre's music hit. He came out, tried to cash in. Punk came out, beat up McIntyre. Priest pins Punk. I mean, Priest pins McIntyre thanks to Punk.
So was Priest or was McIntyre the champion then?
No, he won Money in the Bank earlier, so he was using his cash in during Priest versus Rollins. So
Right.
it became a triple threat match.
So it became a triple threat match, and that's why Priest covered McIntyre in a match that he wasn't originally in.
Yep.
Okay, a lot of confusion there.
Yes, very confusing.
Blanks.
Maybe a little overbooked, maybe.
Well, maybe.
But Rollins obviously is saved and didn't get pinned, so keeps him strong.
Well, good. I hope he stays strong.
So far, none of the retirement matches have lived up to their hype. Do you agree with that? That's from Jason. Do you agree?
Well, I don't know. How far back are we going? I mean, I thought Flair's retirement match with Shawn, even though it wasn't his retirement match, it was a retirement match. I thought it was a pretty good match.
Yes.
Lived up to the hype.
How about Terry Funk versus Bret Hart from WrestleFest in Amarillo back in 1997?
That was a good match. You know, where Terry didn't retire either.
No.
So, you know, if you're going to retire and have a retirement match, then you need to stop wrestling. But I don't know if that'll happen or not.
In Brendan's mind, Gorilla Monsoon is one of the most underrated big men in wrestling. Did you ever interact with him?
Yeah, I interacted a lot with Monsoon. He was good. He was a good guy, but he would give me crap a lot of times.
For what?
Because he's just like giving me crap, giving me shit.
He's just a ball buster?
Yeah.
Nice. Like that.
Oh, I knew you'd like that because you both were from New Jersey.
Yes. Jersey boy. That's right.
Yeah.
You got to be a wise ass if you're from Jersey. You have to.
Of course you do.
Do the wrestlers Dr. Tom trains have beer after the matches, or does he discourage it? Did Cena have beers after his matches? Thank you. What do you think about that?
I think that any consenting adult can have what he wants after his matches. Beer, wine, whiskey. Like a little whiskey and wine every now and then. American Dream used to say. No, I don't discourage it. I discourage drinking and driving. But yeah, John has a few beers after his matches. At least he used to.
Barbara said you probably liked Rawhide and Bonanza.
No, wasn't a Western guy either. Wasn't a Western guy. I watched wrestling, Batman and Robin.
Nice. So was Batman 66? Did you like that theme song? Batman. Did you like that theme?
Not when you sang it. I liked it when they played it.
Damn. Okay. All right. So at least you liked one. Okay.
Yeah.
Mitch wants to know who's your favorite member of the Dungeon of Doom.
The Dungeon of Doom will have to be Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin. They were in the Dungeon of Doom, right?
No, you're thinking thinking Florida. This is WCW, Dungeon of Doom.
Who was in the Dungeon of Doom in WCW?
So you had Sullivan, you had Ming, you had Kamala, you at one point had the Master, who was King Curtis.
Where do you see it says WCW right there? Who's your favorite
Dungeon of Doom? Dungeon of Doom. Yeah, that's WCW.
Gotcha.
The Zodiac was in the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh, then the Zodiac was my favorite member.
Hugh Morris.
I already told you I like the Zodiac better.
I gotta go Kamala. I loved him in the dungeon.
Yeah, of course you would.
Brother Contreras. Shout out to everyone in the chat, including TMPT of Wrestling. Keep it up. Good work on the channel. Appreciate it. Shout out from South Bronx, Brother BKL Contreras, aka Sports Entertainment Guy. Thank you, brother.
Wait a minute. Why did you mention TMPT?
That's me, TMPT.
I know that. Two-Man Power Trip.
Yeah.
But ISP.
He's given some love. He's showing some love. Speaking of some letters, OBGYN is another letters coming up, popping up here. Imagine Dr. Tom, imagine the pop Dr. Tom would be getting if he came back to WWE as the women's locker room OBGYN. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think I dig that too much.
Got a lot of letters here. ISP, BKL, TMPT, OBGYN. I mean, you got a lot of letters going on right now.
Yeah. Everyone's going nuts tonight.
Godwins, were they stiff in the ring from Danny?
No, they were good. They were great in the ring.
Oh, good retirement match. Brandon, I forgot about this. Undertaker versus HBK, WrestleMania 26.
Yep.
HB Shizzle, his retirement, that was pretty good.
Yep.
Talking about the recent trend of retirement message.
The recent trend?
Undertaker, did that count versus AJ or not really because he didn't really announce it? That was a good one. I guess technically that really doesn't count.
Right. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it was announced. Undertaker and Styles.
Does Tom have kids of his own in the business?
No. Well, I have kids I've trained, yes.
Does he mean your actual kids, maybe?
No, I don't.
Joey Morella passed away on July 4th and is buried in nearby, God, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I know it's South Jersey, and obviously with Gino, a.k.a. Gorilla Monsoon. Interesting. Rhea Ripley, she leaving the Judgment Day. Is Roman Reigns going to fight his own bloodline? What do you think about that?
I don't know if Rhea will leave the Judgment Day forever, and Roman Reigns coming back is going to certainly have his own bloodline, I think.
Yeah, I feel like him and the Usos might be back together.
Yeah, a lot of ways to go on that.
Nothing but love for Dr. Tom, true legend and a classy guy.
Well, thank you, Colton Grundy.
Wow.
Mm.
Back in the day, Too Cold Scorpio had serious heat with Road Warrior Hawk. Thankfully, the two of them never fought, and they managed to cool down. What do you think about that from Scorch?
Well, I'm glad that they didn't fight either.
I always heard that they did fight, but Scorpio kind of was too quick, was punching them, and it got broken up quickly. That's what I've heard. So it almost got into fisticuffs.
I don't know. I wasn't there. Anything I heard would have been fifth or sixth hand.
Flair and HBK, good retirement match for Flair. It's been one of many.
Right. It's like Terry Funk.
Yep, definitely. Sam Herschler, did you guys know that Booker T has his own wrestling school?
Yes, I did.
The Reality of Wrestling, yes.
Yeah.
BTZ does a good job, and obviously they've got a connection with NXT since he works for WWE and NXT. So they'll have NXT talent on his shows and at his school too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you think Ray Charles was grateful that Jerry Lee Lewis invented the piano and allowed him to play one?
I've always thought that. In fact, when I met Ray for the first time, I said that. I asked him, are you grateful that Jerry Lee Lewis invented the piano so you'd be allowed to play one? And he said, well, of course. I was just waiting for somebody to invent something I could play.
Brendan says, is there one promo that you show your students to help them out? I know Dustin Rhodes shows his students the Hard Times promo from his dad.
Funny you should ask that, Brendan. We just watched Hard Times promo tonight. We also watched the sit-down interview that Vince did in the empty arena. Dream tells him, how funky like a monkey it is, and American Dream in 2 hours going to fill this place. I mean, yeah, we're watching Dream stuff tonight.
Nice. I always loved the walk behind her, the one that he did with Dustin, making fun of Arn. Remember, Arn turns on him, he teams with him and turns on him, joins the stud stable with Funk and Bunkhouse Buck, and he says, "You don't need another partner. I want to be your partner." And he says he doesn't want to seal it with a handshake; he wants to seal it with a hug. Great promo, talking about how Arn Anderson is nothing but a walk behind her. He's a follower.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
if
an awesome
you want to learn how to cut promos, listen to some Dusty Rhodes stuff. Listen to some Terry Funk stuff. Listen to Mick Foley, although don't imitate Mick Foley or Terry. Just listen to it and hear how they talk. Jake the Snake. A lot of great promo guys back then.
Ragu says Booker T's podcast deserves more attention. Him and Brad have been doing it for over 12 years. Wow,
Well,
really?
we don't get any attention either.
Yeah.
What's up with all that? Booker's podcast gets some attention.
He's on ESPN.
Of course.
Yeah.
How come we're not on ESPN?
We got to get Brad Gilmore. We got to get him and his hookup, I guess. Mr. Showbiz guy, by the way, wants to know who beats Cody for the title and when.
I think Dory Funk Jr. will be July 20th, 1973. He's going to beat Cody.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Who's Cody? Who's Cody even in a program with if it's not a six-man or a tag? Who's the singles program with?
So Solo is next, apparently.
Okay.
I have a feeling that Randy Orton is going to turn on him soon, too. I have just got that feeling.
Could be. Can't trust those Ortons.
Brother Contreras, I never forgot about Dr. Tom Prichard, the most legendary of all pro wrestling. I always watched him since 1992 alongside the Heavenly Bodies.
Well, very cool, Brother BAC. Contreras. Okay. 14. Okay.
I believe Dr. Tom said he shows students Andy Kaufman in some of his interviews on how to get heat.
We have watched Andy Kaufman as well. Yeah. I keep forgetting that not everybody knows about Kaufman and Letterman and Lawler and stuff like that. You know, it's that's been over 40 years ago. Nobody knows it exists. Or people know it exists, but nobody really knows unless somebody will tell them. It's kind of like the flying toe hold. You know about the flying toe hold?
Flying toe hold?
Yes.
I know about the spinning toe hold.
But you've never done the flying toe hold.
No.
Right. Well, there's a lot of things people don't know, and the old school guys have to keep alive, like Andy Kaufman and Letterman and Lawler and the flying toe hold.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Keep them alive.
Mm-hmm.
And your boy Austin Idol. Got to keep these legends alive.
Whew!
Who wore tie-dye better, by the way? Superstar Billy Graham or Dusty?
Ooh, that's hard to say. That's hard to say. Superstar had a great collection of tie-dye trunks, ties, the whole thing.
Superstar, definitely.
Yeah.
I believe the Briscoes invented the flying toe hold. Do you agree with that?
No, I think the flying toe hold goes back to Farmer Burns' day. Farmer Burns was a famous wrestling trainer, and I think he invented the flying toe hold. Pretty dangerous.
Dr. Tom, before we go and we talk about your book here, got to mention this. WWE Behind the Curtain, the documentary about WrestleMania 40. Highly recommended. Good stuff featuring, obviously, The Rock, Triple H, Cody Rhodes, and that whole story. Roman Reigns, obviously, was a big part of that as well. Definitely check that out. Another documentary, RoboDoc, about RoboCop. Those are two documentaries I would have you check out. But where can everybody get your book?
Well, let's see. You can get the book if you email me at JP Wrestling Academy at gmail.com. But you can get the book if you just want to order the book. You can go to jpwrestlingacademy.com, click the training tab at the top of the page, and it'll bring you right to the book.
And the autographed copy as well.
The autographed copy is once again jpwrestlingacademy at gmail.com. Just ask for an autographed copy of the book and we'll get it out to you.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. Follow Dr. Tom at Dr. Tom Prichard. Before we go, Dr. Tom, got to mention this. The return of your favorite wrestler of all time happened last week. The return of Marco Stunt. He's back, baby. Back in an AEW ring where he belongs. The legendary Marco Stunt made a return.
Tremendous. Can't wait. Can't wait to see him.
I don't know if he's signed to a contract, but man, what a return, especially going up against Money in the Bank. Great. That's what you need. You need the return of Marco Stunt to go up against Money in the Bank. And then they only drew 300,000 people. But hey, it's not all the legendary Marco Stunt, but great attempt, guys. Good job there for sure. Just wanted to make sure that you knew that because I know you were going to be excited.
Okay.
Yeah. So Marco Stunt is back. But thank you, Dr. Tom. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. See you right back here next week for a little Take You to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. We'll see you next week, folks.